Hi, good afternoon. My name is Nisi. I'm in Maryland, Zone 7B. Y'all, I'm outside today. So the reason I'm out here is because I went into Lowe's and I was just going to get one plant because, I need the dopamine boost. But they had 5 tables of plants that were on clearance, 75% off because, we're coming to the end of the season. So I was like, we're about to be plant buddy in the community. Right now, I am about to plant all of these things that I got. Let me show you what it's looking like. All of these snapdragons were $1. So 12 of them. These are more winter gem boxwoods. More. This is more winter gem boxwoods. And then this is a butterfly bush. And then I'm coming into my yard. I got all of these gardenias. Look at that one. About to open. They smell heavenly. That one was already mine, but these in the containers are new. Buttered up. So I'm going to keep the gardenias, but the boxwoods and the azalea are getting planted. Also, what I want you to look at, oh my God, look, it's bees on it. Can you see that? So these echinacea are from the county, and they had an event called Growing Green with Pride. And all my volunteers didn't show up, so I'm going to plant these. But we're having a garden buddy day. I'm planting things around the community because I ran out of space in my little townhome. So this is the dirt area, this grass, where I will be planting the azalea bush. So that depression right there is where a tree was, and it's been gone for a few years. I'm thinking right here is a perfect place for the azalea. It gets 3 feet by 3 feet, 3 feet by 3.5 feet. So let's go. I placed the camera on top of the mailboxes so that you could get a really good angle to see me trying to place this azalea in just the right area and try to dig. Now, I live in a community that's 20 plus years old, and my belief is that nothing has actually been done to any of the soil since it was created. So if you know anything, like when they put these communities up, they put down there's rocks, there's concrete, and they might plant some trees. They'll throw out some grass seed, but grass seed stays pretty surface. So I'm needing to dig a little deeper as I want to plant this azalea. So you saw first, I tried with my shovel. I made absolutely no dent at all. And I kept trying with the shovel. I went and got my small auger that is attached to my 18-volt drill. And it did kick up some dirt, but nothing. There was absolutely nothing moved. I did not give up though, because I'm not a quitter. So I just kept trying. I did have to go at one point and get my Felcos because the tree roots are serious. So just imagine trees being planted 25 years ago and the type of roots that would be there. Even though this tree is cut down, the roots are still there. So between trying to get up tree roots and trying to dig down in this hard packed soil, I wasn't winning. So I don't think I was losing, but I'm going to be honest and say I wasn't winning. So I didn't give up. You can see I'm still trying, but not a lot is going on here other than I made a small depression in the dirt. I even tried moving to another area. So the original area you see me digging there, but fail, major fail. So this is the area I'm trying to fix up in my community. And these hail strips are just dirt. So I want to put boxwoods here. So let's see, because this looks super compacted and there's tree roots. A lot of tree roots. So we're going to do our best. I learned my lesson after the last time. So the shovel was not enough. My small auger was not enough. I asked my neighbor if I could borrow his tiller. So that's what I'm using, his electric tiller. And it's actually doing something. It is moving dirt that was not being moved before. Very, very exciting. I'm, applying pressure here. So ultimately, I'm running into similar problems that I had in the grassy area over by the mailboxes. Heavy compacted dirt and huge rocks being thrown off. So I'm continually having to stop and pick up rocks. I tried again to go in with the shovel just to kind of move out some of those big rocks that were there. But as much as effort as I'm expending, and you can see that the tiller is making a dent beyond what we had before, I was still running into the huge rocks, and I'm ultimately not getting enough power to dig through. But again, I'm not a quitter. So I just keep trying, and it is making a difference. We're on the same day here. So this project ultimately took me 2.5, almost 3 days to get this going. Yeah, still going with the tiller. Fail. Major fail again. Here is where I think you'll actually see that I'm winning. I went to Home Depot and I rented a one-man auger. Now, I know that this was a garden buddy activity. I'm just doing work in my community, but the tools that I had were not sufficient. And again, I am not a quitter. So I went to Home Depot. I rented this auger, less than $100 for 24 hours. And it's gas powered. They showed me how to use it. And here we go. I had to remember to slip the primer thing after you started, so it cut off on me initially, but I got it going. And as I started to use this auger, you can definitely see a difference here. There's actual work being done. This auger had more power, and even though I was actually starting to see work done, I would call this auger, this was the win for me. So this auger represents success. I kept trying. Like, you have to move. If you think that this is going to make it easier just because you have a power tool, it kind of is. So yes, a win. It's kind of easier, but this is heavy. And so you are literally pushing this into the ground, applying heavy pressure to get what you need. So this is definitely going to be that upper body workout. If you haven't been getting an upper body workout, welcome. Welcome to gardening. The other thing I would say that made a difference was putting water in the holes to soften up the ground. We haven't had rain in a minute, so I definitely needed to put some water down to soften up the holes. And I had to hand carry the water from my house because I could not get the machine over at the pool. They have water turned off and you have to use a water key. I went and bought a water key, but I still did not have the upper body strength to get it to turn. So I'm telling you all of this to tell you, can you do this? Yes, the right tools for the job make all the difference, but you still have to apply a little, common sense. Yes, soften up the ground with some water, give it some time. And ultimately, that's what I did here. I softened up the ground, but it's much later in the day. If you can look, you can see it's darker and the street lights have actually come on. So I did a little bit more, but I'm hitting the time when it's time for me to feed Dante. And I'm exhausted too. So, but there are actual holes there. So you can see me testing to see if the plants would fit down in there. And I'm still having to pull tree roots. Huge rocks are coming out, still having to cut back tree roots to try to dig out. And so when I hit a rock, I didn't keep using the auger. I would stop and get my shovel to try to dig those rocks out because I'm not trying to damage Home Depot's product and I don't want to pay for it either. I don't know how much it costs, but more than I want to pay. So that was that part. So it's also was starting to get dark here. So I'm running out of time. I had to get an auger, which was the big tool you saw. I've dug these holes just for these plants. This dirt has likely not been disturbed in 20 plus years, so I had to put some water on it to try to loosen it up, which actually helped a lot. But it is getting dark, so my next plan is to try to get these things in the soil before it's pitch black. So let's see. Y'all, I did not make it before it got pitch black. So as you can see, it's bright outside. It's a new day. So I was able to get the plants into the ground first thing early in the morning, as well as put some mulch down. And the reason for the voiceover here, I didn't show me picking up the mulch and trying to pull it out of my car to drop it. Those bags are heavy. This is not the mulch that I got from the store, like one of the box stores. This mulch actually came from the county. It was left over from the planting project, the Growing Green with Pride that I told you about earlier in the video. So that was me huffing and puffing, and no need to record that because it's embarrassing. But here I'm just blowing off some of the leaves. I've put out 2 of the large bags of mulch. So I want to say this is about 100 pounds of mulch. And Now I'm blowing off some of the leaves to clean up. And if you look over to the left in front of this step, that is all some of the big rocks that I pulled out just from one area. Most of them I kind of threw back into this planting area so you don't see them. But yeah, those were some of the big rocks I pulled. Now I'm just moving the mulch around, just trying to spread it out a bit. I did not have enough mulch to mulch that whole hell strip, which is very large. But to offer some protection to the plants, I did put some of the mulch down, and I had to water these plants in. So they each got 2 gallons of water, which I did not film me doing that either, because if you remember, I said before, I had to go and get the water from my house because I couldn't figure out how to turn it on at the pool house, which is where I am. This is where I've placed these. The other thing I would tell you, because this is a garden buddy activity that I'm doing in my community, don't do this without permission. My community was perfectly fine with me doing this. I had permission from the HOA, so I wasn't just thugging it out there. I wasn't just like a rogue gardener secretly planting plants. Even though I have done that, that's not what I was doing here. I had permission. So just kind of spreading the mulch out to make it look good. And I did both sides. So I put the 50 pounds of mulch on these 3 boxwoods and 50 pounds of mulch on the boxwoods on the other side. And you do need to kind of spread it a little bit because it's going to come out and it's going to be clumpy. Okay, so they're in. It's little clearance shrubs. We go. If I step back, and that's what they look like. Here, this is the Encore Azalea called Autumn Brilliance that I planted. Again, another clearance plant. I want to say it was $15 at Lowe's. I did the exact same process as what I did with the Winter Gem boxwoods near the pool house. I did have to put water in and let that soften up and then come through with the auger. But it actually worked out really well. So I'm pleased. It looks gorgeous. I'm looking forward to seeing it over time, 3 feet by 3.5 feet. And these are the 6 Winter Gem boxwoods I planted over by the pool house. That's it, guys. Thanks so much for being a garden buddy with me today. Bye.